Welcome to lesson 1.2, the day one diagnostic of the Partnership Lab. In this lesson, we are going to objectively assess where you are today before forming partnerships. We are going to focus on getting that very clear view so that you know what your current strengths and gaps and needs are before we start aligning ourselves with new partners. And to make this very straightforward, we are going to use the day one GPT to assess not only your partnership capability, but to define your partnership goals as well. So, why is this clarity important? Well, for three reasons. Number one, rushing into partnerships without a plan ultimately ends up becoming wasted time. We want to make sure that there are strong foundations and systems for the long-term compounding success that partnerships can provide. And we're going to assess where you are today so that we don't end up in a misaligned position into the future. So this will require a 4-step self-assessment. I'm going to run through what this assessment looks like now, but the day one GPT is going to allow us to move through this very, very quickly so you end up with a blueprint of where you are right now. Important that you understand the underlying theory behind this first. So let's dive in. Number one, your business readiness. Pretty fundamental question. Are you ready for partnerships? And if the answer is maybe, but I'm not sure, excellent. We're going to get to the bottom of that very, very soon. Number two, your value proposition. What makes you an attractive partner? And we're going to dive into the questions that you can unpack so that you can actually put your best foot forward as you're starting to court new partners. What are your partnership goals? What problems can a partnership help you solve? Because as we know, not every business or organization is perfect. And number four, your partnership gaps. What do you need from a partnership? All right, so let's start with the core underlying question of, are you ready for partnerships? If you have unstable operations or a lack of capacity to bring partners on board, then you might end up doing a worse job for you and your partner than having the great upside that you're hoping to get from partnerships. So let's look at the questions to help us unpack this a little bit further. Number one, do you have operational stability to support partnerships? In other words, is there somebody who is available to be the go-to point for your new partners? And in the way that you sell or create whatever it is you create and sell, is there a way to plug them easily into what you do, even if the new partnership is all about new product developments together? Do you have clear business goals that a partnership could align with? And can your team handle the workload of managing partnerships? And I don't want to make that sound as though it's a very overbearing piece, because we're going to get to a point in the program where we show you how to engage and manage your partners over time. But it's important to know, because if your team is already overwhelmed, the question is, what can we put into place to make that overwhelm less and create space to engage really meaningfully with partners? So the outcome from this one question as we move through this day one GPT is, a well-prepared business can engage without becoming strained. Okay, question two, what makes you an attractive partner? Know what makes you unique, and potential partners will see the benefit in working with you. It's very important to realize that most organizations have real trouble expressing the value they can offer to a partner. We're going to show you how to do that. But know that if you've been trying to express the value that you think you have to offer and you're having trouble doing it, you're not alone. So the questions to ask ourselves as we move through this step are, what are your business's strongest assets, offerings, and market advantages? Do you offer operational, brand, or strategic financial value? And if so, how do we express that? And why would another company want to partner with you? And we'll get to a really fantastic question you can ask yourself and your team can ask around whether you would accept the deal that you would want to put forward. We'll get to that shortly. The key outcome here is that a strong value proposition leads to strong partnership opportunities. If it's clear, if partners understand how you can help them, then it makes it so much easier, not only to identify the ideal partner, but to forge that relationship with them as well. All right, question three, what problems can a partnership solve? Now, no business is perfect. We know that, but partnerships should fill gaps. So it's important that you know what your gaps are. Let's look at the questions that we would ask around that. What are the main obstacles preventing your businesses from growing? Do you lack distribution or marketing or technology or expertise? And how could a partner help you overcome these challenges? The main outcome from answering this question is that when you know what you need, you can target the right partnerships. And that is so important because life's too short for underwhelming partners. And the fourth question to ask, what do you need from a partnership? If you don't set goals, partnerships can drift without the impact you're hoping to receive from them. So when we think about the questions to ask here, they're these. What short and long-term business goals could a partnership help you achieve for your business? Do you want revenue growth or brand exposure or new customers? Having a really clear view about what the outcome could be for you is really important. And most importantly, how will you measure that success? We're going to show you a whole range of metrics you can use so that as you're building out your partnership agreements, you know what to measure. Because gets measured, gets done. So the outcome from answering this question is that well-defined goals drive partnership strategy and accountability. And so with those four questions in mind, are you ready for partnerships? What makes you an attractive partner? What problems can a partnership solve? And what do you need from a partnership? These are going to help you understand where you are right now. And we're going to use our day one GPT to make that work in really short time for you. So the key takeaways from this lesson: clarity before action prevents wasted time and effort. No one wants to waste time and effort. So let's put in the effort here now to make sure that we know what direction we're traveling when it comes to partnerships. Understanding how ready you are leads to actions to become a more attractive partner. But building readiness helps you attract and retain the ideal partner. So we're going to understand that now, and then we're going to build that readiness in the lessons to come. Okay, so our blueprint action steps. Open the partnership blueprint to lesson 2, look for the day one GPT, and then we can start working with that to form your day one position where you are right now in terms of your partnership capability. So the next steps, we're going to go into lesson 3, clarifying value exchange, in which we'll work out exactly what you're here to offer and what you're going to ask for. And that brings to an end lesson 1.2, the day one diagnostic. You're doing great. So when you're finished with this lesson, make sure you go across the workbook and start working on the day one GPT, then press complete, and I will see you in the next lesson.